All right, welcome to the 18th annual Turf and Tools podcast. I am Tim the Lawnmower Man. I make YouTube videos of me cutting overgrown lawns. This is Obsessive Lawny.
Hello everyone,
Karthik,
welcome.
Just awkwardly touching your shoulder there just to direct to who you are. Maggie, you going to come and say hello? No, Maggie
Welcome
is here.
to another podcast, everyone.
Maggie's here, Kevin's here. They're the dogs, but they're too comfortable in their bed. You're an obsessive lawny. You like manicuring your home lawn, don't you?
I do. I mean, not just my home lawn. I think I just like it as a hobby to fuss over lawn, mow it, edge it. Find it all very calming.
Yeah.
After a stressful week, stressful day, whatever, just takes my mind off things. I hope everyone at home is fine with it because it means I'm close by. I generally always say when people say it, I'm like, at least I'm not at the pub. So if they need me, they know I'm in the backyard or the front yard mowing the lawn
family,
again.
Everyone at home. I thought you meant people at home watching.
No.
Okay
as a hobby, I think at least it's a hobby that keeps you at home, right? So
Yes.
It's a pretty good one. But I think it gets on their nerve occasionally.
You say it's a good hobby until you got to buy, a $3,000 or $4,000 mower.
Or when
Because you have to have it.
Yeah, exactly. Or when you've got a $3,000 or $4,000 mower and then you decide you need another one, right? That's
Yeah.
when it really gets on people's nerve.
Yeah, it's a disease.
But hey, this podcast probably started because of it, because no one else wants to listen to us talk about turf and tools.
No, exactly. But, we're doing this live on YouTube, on the Turf and Tools YouTube channel, which we have done for the last, 3 or 4 podcasts. And we've had some good interaction and questions from the viewers. So we do appreciate you watching or listening wherever you are listening. Even if you've watched parts of this, we'd appreciate if you just kept it running in the background when I post the actual video. It'll help the algorithm. But what have you been up to this week, Karthik?
No,
that was really aggressive, wasn't it? What have you been up to?
Nah, it's not. It's all good. No, I've actually been enjoying not being as obsessive about my lawn through this winter. Not enjoying this winter, to be honest. It's been a struggle to try and get out. I don't know. It's not any colder than usual, I'm fairly sure. But I think it's just where I am at with 2 kids now and new job and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's probably a good time. So I've just been taking a break from being crazy. It's still maintained okay, the lawn.
Which one?
The backyard.
Yeah.
The front's just
Gone to sleep?
The front's gone to sleep. It's got weeds on it. Does not look pretty. I haven't actually mowed that front now for a long time. And you know where Tiff-Tuff gets really leggy?
Yeah.
And now I know if I go to try to mow it, it's just going to look brown.
Yeah,
it's got two... So I'm probably just going to edge it, but not actually... Oh, a bird just flew into your door.
It is alive. We did have a bird just fly into a
He's all right,
glass
though, I can
window,
see him.
but he's recovering.
Yeah. So, the front's not looking flash. The zoysia patch, which I had sprigged as a project, which is a test zoysia variety, that's coming along okay. It's slowed down, but it's actually holding really good color still.
It's kind of boring this time of year a little bit, isn't it?
It can be. Look, I think previous years, because I was trying to maintain the lawn like how I would through springs. I wanted it to still pop and still... So there was plenty to do still.
Yeah.
We're just pumping it full of products and
But
stuff
it's kind
like
of
that.
unless you've got it like pumping going into, there's not a lot you can do. I don't know about you, but I'm getting heaps of DMs from people asking, "Oh, my lawn's gone brown. What do I do?" Like, or it's patchy or this or that. It's
and the frost stuff will start now as well. You know what, the ones where it looks like tiger stripes on the lawn after a frost, but people don't know what that is. So that's going to start now for people that live in areas where they get heavy frost as well.
My main advice is just to be patient and wait for spring and then rip in, but have a plan.
Yep.
Which I say that, and then I had to take my own advice this week about having a plan. And I'm like, I need to think about what my first project's going to be here and then be ready to rip in.
Because
if you wait till spring and it's ready to go and you're just a step behind or whatever.
Yeah. So what have you got something in terms of lawn? Because you've got you're spread that thin with your projects, I know, but in terms of lawn and grass, what's your sort of number one thing for spring this year?
I want to do, so the patch that I've got the perennial ryegrass on at the moment, I want to level that, retain it with maybe sandstone blocks. This is what I'm thinking anyway. I'll have to bring some soil in. Yeah. And I haven't even decided how. I'm like, do I just bring in some 80-20 or whatever and just make it a generic sort of, which I'm pretty okay with, or do I go... with like a perched water table sort of right into it.
Oh, right, like a full hardcore one.
Yeah, but then I'm thinking, you can see those water tanks there. and where the sun is,
Yeah.
right in front of those water tanks is going to be shaded. So I was thinking I could put like Tiff Tuff there or something and cylinder mow it. Mm-hmm. But then I'm thinking, I should probably, the smarter thing to do would be get something that's a bit more shade tolerant.
Yeah, I think so.
Otherwise, I'm just going to be struggling.
I think, that spot, like you've got a whole range of options available on this property where you've got good sun.
Yeah.
That spot is not the ideal one for Tiff Tuff.
I just would have liked that spot to be the
showcase
manicured section, but yeah.
And I think it'll come down to also eventually, I'm assuming, like this, you're going to build a bigger place.
We're going to build a house.
Yeah, so I think maybe plan where your manicured showcase patches based around where you plan to build that.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I'm definitely that's my plan. That's what I want to do. I want to retain it with, those big sandstone blocks. I don't know, what are they, 500 by 500 or something by a metre?
I wouldn't know.
I think they are. But the look I'm talking about? I still want to keep that sort of half moon at the front there as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of like it. But, I was thinking maybe some Australis or, I don't know. I'm haven't totally decided, but I'm thinking I need to get in the planning stages now and, get it all sorted out. Otherwise, it comes to spring and the time just disappears.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're a couple of months into spring and you're like, I've missed a lot of opportunity here. I could even get a lot of it done in the back end of winter.
Well, I was gonna say if you're putting down turf, as in you're putting down sod, then you're probably better off putting it down sort of towards the end of winter.
Yeah.
So even sort of start of August.
Yeah.
Because through that establishment period, you don't have to water it as much anymore because the heat's not there.
Yeah.
But the moment spring starts, your turf's probably already starting to put roots down.
Yeah.
So you're maximizing your growing season.
Maggie, off the rug.
Growing season that way. Yeah, so because turfing in winter, I think for a long time the belief was that you shouldn't turf in winter, or that's not the best time, and you should turf it when grass is actively growing.
Yeah,
but
I think that's more just like the general belief. I don't think.
Yeah, but that
I
discussion
people have been turfing all year round.
And that discussion's now I think flipped completely, where a lot of people you talk to will actually say, no, it's better off to turf in winter because yes, the grass might not look flash during that period, but in terms of costs, it's a lot cheaper to get it established through winter. Yeah. And usually when spring comes around...
then you got it established, then you can cut it back.
Yeah, it's ready to go for spring, yeah.
If you're really aggressive like me. Hello to everyone that's joined the YouTube live. We've got Alan Willits there. Witchy Hall saying hi, everyone. Kay's there. She can hear and see us. That's always a bonus.
Yep.
Sudo likes the new set. This isn't a permanent thing. I think this might be our new... desk.
Yeah, but we say that every time, and
no.
We end up in a chicken coop once.
I do like getting around a little bit.
Well, I like turning up every week and not knowing where we're going to be sitting. Every time.
But what I was thinking was this might be our new bench because it kind of works well. Oh, I've just turned my phone on. I did have a comment. I put up your Karthik's winter lawn tip last week from the podcast last week.
Yep.
And I had to laugh. There was some guy in the comments.
Yeah. I thought I sounded... No, but I thought I sounded very... I sounded like I knew what I was talking about, which I'm
no.
Where you afterwards you go, oh my God, I'm not the guy to be giving advice to anyone.
Yeah, that's the story of my life. Yeah.
You hear the short video and it's only 15 seconds and you sound quite intelligent in that 15 seconds and you're like, yes, I got away with it.
But he wasn't critiquing your advice. He was critiquing our lounge. He goes, get a better lounge. Looks uncomfortable as sheet.
But we're big guys. We can't all couches. We make all
but
furniture.
Did you see how you did look pretty uncomfortable if you have a look at it? I mean, I'm semi-comfortable. Look at you.
I was probably cold and I had my hands in my pocket.
You looked awkwardly slobbish in it and I almost felt bad for posting it, but I'm like, I know you're not going to care. You're not that...
sensitive.
Yeah, I did say that it's hard when I'm 7 foot and you're 8 foot tall. Any lounge we get is going to look small.
Absolutely.
Someone suggested a couple of those big ass bean bags. That'd be a little bit slobbish. Hey?
Again, I was going to say
I like the desk. For me, because I can have the computer here, microphone here.
And I must admit, this is probably the one time where everything, like the height's right, the desk is right, my knee's not bumping.
I put this together from Bunnings stuff.
What, this whole bench?
This is just laminated.
Should get into the furniture business,
laminated pine. Laminated pine with two legs from Bunnings on it. It
Very
looks
nice.
good. I was using it as Nicole's work test. We actually have 2 of them. They were much bigger. And then for here, I just thought I'd make it a bit smaller. So this will probably become the
Podcast
Turf Tools.
bench. Yeah. No, it looks very Scandi.
Yeah.
I didn't want to call it IKEA, but you know what I mean.
Hey, it's much more sturdy than that. Mark said we had birds flying into our windows, so we purchased some clear crystal pattern reflective stickers, which seemed to have fixed the problem. Can you actually? I mean, I know they're clear, but is it still like a sort of film look about it?
I think from the outside it probably reflects, and from inside you're still letting light through and you can see through, so the birds are not going to... Yeah, I can see that.
It hasn't been a big problem here, but...
Yeah, that was the first, I think.
Mark is down in Gippsland. They still have ice in the bird baths at 10:45 a.m. Very brisk.
I actually saw an ad for, I think, Tassie Tourism or something about like basic the concept around it was to like embrace winter and go to Tassie. I'm like, oh no, not right. I'm like, I don't mind the cold and stuff like that, but I was just the thought of like leaving a cold place where we're cold right now for a holiday right now to go to a place that's even colder.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just, my brain couldn't process it. I'm like, oh, come on, Tasmania. I know it's like beautiful. I'd love to go there one day. Like, I really want to get out there one day, but I was just the timing of it though. In the middle of winter, you're telling us embrace more cold and come somewhere. I
kind of like that holiday cold.
Yeah, but then go all out, right? Go to the snow somewhere, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, it does snow down there.
Does it right now, this time of the year?
Oh, okay. I'm not Tim Bailey, mate. But speaking of tourism campaigns, have you seen, I don't know if, God, you see that much stuff come up in your feed now and you've got to do the research and go, oh, is this a meme or is it, is it a joke? You know how Western Australia, Northern Territory had this CU in the NT.
Yeah.
I haven't checked into this, but the South Australian one is get your mouth down south or something.
Okay.
As in,
you don't have to explain it,
for the wineries and all that sort of stuff.
Is this an actual official campaign?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It came up in my feed. I didn't look into it. I'm like, God, that's a little bit ballsy, but yeah. Maggie is scratching at the window now. Beer Taster Brute says, how are you going with digging them holes, mate? Work out a solution.
He's managed one full one. He's managed a proper one post in there.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them about the hole while I put the dog out for a second, Carl?
Oh, no.
Paint a picture with your words.
I don't know if you saw his video of him using the trencher, which I thought was a pretty cool video of, I think he actually tried to go through he's got like limestone rock, really, like there's just about 100 mil of dirt and then it's just limestone. So he's tried to go through it with the geotrencher, which they messaged him halfway through our podcast last time. While we were there, I think they were watching the live podcast and they messaged him and said, give it a go with the trencher. So he did. But he's managed to get one in. And then I think he's had enough of using the trencher for that. So he's waiting on an auger now, I believe.
It was a little scary.
Was it an auger that was coming now?
Yeah, we got the...
And a post hole digger, yeah?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's all right.
I'm holding a box of snacks.
Yeah, he's busy feeding the dogs with treats.
Yeah, it's just to bribe her to come back in. No, I'm trying the 2x 40 volt Makita Demo Hammer.
Okay.
So I guess it's what you would class as a jackhammer. I don't know. I haven't used it.
Did you say 40 volt? Because someone just said jackhammer 80 volt Makita.
2x40. So
there you go. That's the one. Yep.
And they're also going to bring the auger out, which if there's some bits that haven't got the sandstone, it'll be good. So that's actually meant to come today. So I won't be able to have a crack tonight, but maybe the next few days. But I got one post in. I dead set felt like, you've seen the castle, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. I was like, Dale dug a hole. It was like, I dug a hole. I'm like, I've got to get a post in this thing just so I've done something. The hole was way too big. Used 3 bags of Quickset. So it's not going anywhere.
Yep.
So I've got, that's my potential solution. Hopefully it works.
Does everyone know why you're putting those posts in there, what you're doing in that area there?
Well, as you can see, the dogs are kind of running amok while we're doing a podcast here. So I just sort of need somewhere for them to be safe
but out of the weather.
They're going nuts. Yep. Yeah. So there'll be a doghouse and everything in there, nice and warm. So super keen to try that. I really hope it works. I can't see why it wouldn't because it's only sandstone and this thing's made
because it's going to be undercover, all of it?
No.
No?
That's a fence. That's a fence post.
Yeah, okay. So there's no roofing on it, nothing yet.
A top rail. I haven't decided whether I want to do 3 rails or 2 rails, and then that like square mesh inside of that. So I just want sort of
because you wanted to chuck some turf there for them to just do their business as well, right?
I'll put at some point some, but we were discussing this. I don't know if it was on the podcast because there is all that crushed rock out there, and then straight underneath is sandstone.
Yep.
Obviously, the grass isn't going to grow, so we're toying with the idea of doing like a raised turf area. Maybe I don't know.
Remember that? I can't remember the brand, but they sent you like those pizza boxes with square pieces, dog loose.
Yeah.
So, like, do they do bigger sized ones?
Yeah, but it's just not for. It doesn't make sense for this sort of scenario.
Okay.
That's more for
apartments.
Yeah, if you've got a balcony or something. Yeah, and I've got the opportunity to make it fine here. My live stream here is just
mine's buffering too, but
I wonder what happened last week. Let me check if it's still there.
What's that?
The live stream going. I'll check now.
Is it still going? No, it froze. Somebody said it froze. Well, the comments are coming through, obviously.
Yeah, but that's what happened last week too.
Buffering, someone said.
Reconnect. Anyway, keep talking.
I'm
back. So we had this issue last week. For some reason, the live stream stopped at some point.
Like I think we're back.
We didn't realise for about 5 minutes
that
people were taking the piss out of us in the comments last time.
Yeah.
But, so some sort of raised turf area anyway. What's going on in the comments there? What camera do you film your videos with? Just iPhone. I try and keep it as simple as possible because there's too much other stuff to worry about. Alan is saying rooster now, chicken now. The chickens are going well. We've got eggs. I think there's an egg shortage now, isn't there?
I think there's bird flu going around apparently because I just saw
in the Hawkesbury too. So,
there was a second farm at the Hawkesbury apparently. I don't know. You doing anything to keep your chickens safe?
I think we've been told to keep them in there. Just keep them in the coop.
Okay.
So they're not fraternising with other birds. I don't know.
Is that how bird flu spreads?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but that sounds legit.
sounds like, when I was little anyway, when I'd get in trouble, my parents would always try and blame it on the friends I was hanging out with. It's like they're a bad influence. Chickens need better friends.
Beer Taster Brute says, looks like a nice bar bench to have a nice cold beer one, fellas. Yeah, it would be. Very nice.
Does Beer Taste, what's his name? Beer Taste Brute? Does he have like a social? Because
I don't know if he makes videos. Let us know if you make videos. Beer Taster Brute. It sounds
because I was obsessed with trying. I worked with beers and hospitality for a long time, right? And I was obsessed with trying new beers. Yeah. I was. If I saw a new one, I had to try it.
Yeah.
He sounds like I'd get along well with him.
Are you like the craft beer sort of stuff?
Well, I didn't have to be craft. If I hadn't heard of it before, if I hadn't seen it before, I was always sort of keen to get a 6-pack of it at least.
I feel like I'd have a really basic palate compared to you. I just like beer that tastes like beer.
And what's that supposed to be but a beer that tastes like beer?
Just a simple beer, like whatever.
Okay.
I normally just have Coronas here or Great Northern or whatever.
He says beer that tastes like beer, and then he says I just have Coronas.
Well, that's not like a fancy
like
beer. What does it taste like?
Just water.
Oh God,
that's what Corona tastes like to me.
Anyway, where's the tablecloth? No tablecloth here. It's frosty but so dry in Ballarat this year. Not much rain at all. Not much rain in a few places. 2 times 40 volt for the jackhammer. Yes, correct. Bit of dynamite might work in those holes.
Someone say that.
Yeah. People don't like it when I do. Actually, the video for using the geotrencher in that hole on Instagram's got like 1.3 million views or something.
Plenty of people telling you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. And you know what? It did look and feel sketchy, but
the reason you even thought of doing it was because Geotrencher themselves told you give it a go.
But again, I didn't know how to do it. I'm like, am I doing it right? This just feels weird. It's one of those sketchy, like a 9-inch grinder or something. It's one of those just sketchy bits of equipment that I don't know. You're ever going to feel totally safe around it because it's just
you got to wear
some damage.
You got to wear like a Ned Kelly suit to feel safe in it, right?
I just place my body away from it. I hold the machine, so I look very awkward doing it. It was bouncing around and everything.
It's almost at that size where it shouldn't just be a handheld anymore. Like it's big enough, heavy enough, can do enough damage.
Yeah.
That you feel. No, I'm not saying it shouldn't be, but I'm kind of going. It's in that boundary, right? Where.
Yeah. Miss Peter, she's made it again. She's out having coffee in a cafe. She'll just lurk in the corner watching us. Thanks, Miss Peter. We look very professional, apparently, says Kay Karthik.
Very professional, okay.
Yeah. A lot of people letting us know that we were buffering again. You feeling all right there, Tharge? Oh, hey, guys, what would you death row meal be? Oh, what? Oh, okay, that's why. So Tharge has asked, hey, guys, what would your death row meal be?
I don't know right now.
No, I don't think I'd feel like eating.
What if I... Really?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You got to have something, right? I think at this particular moment, and that's the funny part, right? Depending on what day, what time of when that question's asked, it can be different.
Yeah.
But right now, when I saw that question, all I could think of was dumplings. I had like a big...
Oh, really? I'm just thinking
I don't know, 18 pan-fried dumplings or something.
I'm thinking some sort of big sugar binge, like ice cream, donuts,
yeah, I don't know
Milo.
desserts. I don't know desserts. No.
Deserts, I don't like the deserts either. It's too hot.
Nice cold beer and maybe like 18 pork dumplings.
I could go a beer, yeah.
Yep.
Lighter weight commercial mower for an older woman. I don't know, Jill.
Commercial?
Yeah, I don't really associate commercial and light.
Yeah, but maybe one of those, the Ego Select Cup, was it? Which a lot of commercial operators were using, but it wasn't a commercial machine.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what you're looking to do. If you're talking about petrol, I know a lot of people have used the Masport Pro Power, like the 18-inch, which is much lighter than the contractor, but comes with the same Briggs 190 engine. So potentially that maybe.
But again, if you're looking for a lighter, more for an older person, you'd assume they want a self-propel as well because they don't want to push it all the time, right? So
well, it is self-propelled.
Yeah, this one's self-propelled as well. Good.
Well, sorry, I think they come in both, but the one that I tried was self-propelled. So, potentially that. It's kind of a void that I've wanted to fill, to have a commercial engine on a 18-inch lighter machine that still feels somewhat heavy-duty.
Yep.
Just because of the size of the blocks around here.
Yeah.
Sometimes the 21 is just too big and heavy to...
Got it.
Yeah.
Especially when you got those narrow little side bits to get to the backyard with the rainwater tank and...
Hey, tell me, what do you think of my storage solution as you walked in? And don't tell me you didn't notice it.
Oh, no. The VP going up on the wall. I'd watched the video, so I was actually waiting to see where you'd installed it.
Yeah.
You're talking about that, right? With the...
So this week I finally got some stuff off the ground in the shed. I had a dozen line trimmers here sitting on the ground, and I did the same sort of setup as I had at my other place, with the Pinnacle large tool holder. They're like $9 each.
Yeah, which is, I think, for such a simple, it's a simple solution, right? But it does such a good job of achieving what you needed to.
Yeah, well,
and I like that you've gone right up the top too.
Yeah,
like
well, then I could fit the mowers.
Underneath it.
I'll be able to fit 12, and I don't want to have that many. I want to use them and send them back. But I've got 8 there at the moment underneath it, like battery ones, because the battery ones obviously you can stand up, which is great. But I can fit 12 without impinging on the roller door opening. So I can fit 12 lines just in that small section, which is probably, 3 metres wide? 3 metres wide and about a metre depth. It's 12 line trimmers and 12 battery mowers standing up, which is...
a lot of tools, yeah.
Were you here last week when the bench was here?
The shelf?
The racks?
The big Bunnings sticker ones?
Yes.
We did our podcast in front of it,
Oh, okay. I forget. The week goes so quickly.
Yep.
What about, did you notice I put some tool stuff on the wall?
didn't pay attention to what was in there because your trailer was in the way, I think.
Well, I've started hanging up my hand tools and stuff, spanners, hammers, all that sort of stuff, with some hooks and that. The good thing about it is there's ply around here everywhere. So where previously I needed a pegboard, and sometimes a little bit annoying with the pegboard because the hooks, as you'd lift a tool off, sometimes they'd come off or whatever. But I've screwed them into straight into
big difference between hanging stuff up on the wall in a garage versus in a shed.
Yeah.
Like the care factor around not damaging. I'm not saying
exactly,
you don't care, but yeah, you're not as worried about it in a shed.
I need to get some new hand power tools though. Like I need to go and get a kit, like a impact drill,
To be able to do stuff around the place.
grinder, circular saw. What else? The kit. Yeah. Because I've got and have had for ages my Makita impact and drill and grinder, but I've only got one battery left of that. That's a long story. They're gone now, but there's a few other things I want, and I want a circular saw that is battery because I've got a plug-in one, and anytime, like I cut this the other day with it, and it worked fine, but it's just having that cord draped over your.
Yep.
Yeah, I need less ways that I can injure myself. No. So let me know what brand of power tools should I get? Because normally I'd be like, with mowers and line trimmers and all that sort of thing, I would try all of them.
Yep.
And I have all of them, but for the power tools, I kind of want one
platform.
One brand, one platform. Let me know what platform you think I should get for, your starter kit, impact, drill, grinder, circular saw. What should I get?
Well, man, just pick a brand. You can throw a dart at it and pick one, because in the end, it comes down to personal preference as always, right? And only way to know which one you like is trying all of them.
Yeah.
But you're not. Well, this page is already. You're featuring enough tools. I don't know if you want to go down that path now.
Nah, well, I'm not an expert at all in that.
And you just ask them to tell you, so everyone's going to give you their preference now.
ECP 4500 says, those $9 hanging hooks you have, are they worth it for Makita XGT Powerhead split shaft and attachments? I've hung attachments from them with pretty good success. So I would say yes. They're the best $9 I have spent.
And to be honest, if you got them lower, could you then put and got a little bit closer? So then for your multi-tool extra attachments, can you lay them horizontally on them? Just use them as
you could, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you could put two.
Because you could have your main unit hanging off it.
Yeah, that's an option. You could put two and then have them
lying on
coming
top.
Out. Yeah. I've got more of them, so I've actually got couple more trimmers before I've emptied out Store Hub. I've only got 3 mowers left at Store Hub to empty it out. Yeah. So I was a little emotional the other day. Went and got the stuff out. No, it wasn't that bad. But, no, they have been really good to me.
That cafe is probably going to miss you.
I still go there.
Oh, do you still go
Yeah.
there?
We were going there before Store Hub. So how is the ryegrass project going? Did you have a glimpse of it when you got here? Or
no, I haven't been there.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's looking pretty good, considering what I'm dealing with here and the deer and the fact that there was no care factor to it was cut it back.
Have you put sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but have you put the Rotarolla on it?
Well, that was going to be the next thing I was going to say.
Okay, go on, finish.
I actually planned to do that today. So considering I literally just cut it back, threw down some seed, not even weighing it or, just, Maggie, come over here. It's looking pretty good overall. The other thing, I was going to say the Masport Rotarolla, which I've had to try for ages, and my backyard hasn't been suitable for it just because of the way that was growing. I wanted to mow with that today because I think it'll stripe up delightfully.
Yeah, but and you should just give another area that's not dry as well down the bottom or something and see how. I'm just saying it needs a cut anyway. If it doesn't stripe, so be it.
It won't. And
but
I wouldn't
it'll
want
look
to put
pretty cool, I reckon.
No, it's not. It's not the sort of grass that's going to stripe up.
Man, you'd be surprised.
The rye, we're not talking about the rye now.
It's a pretty heavy roller on the back of it, isn't it? On the Rotarolla?
The machine feels like, I can't remember the weight. Feels like 40 plus.
Yeah, I reckon it might not be the biggest, fattest, thickest stripes in the world necessarily, and it's a first cut, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think that's good weight on it as well.
I just want to see I've probably missed, maybe straight after this podcast, because that's when the sun's probably at the perfect spot to record it to see those stripes going up and down. So rye's going well. It's just a good, easy project. There's weeds popping through it, but you can't really notice them.
Yep.
Because the rye's outperforming them. Because I did absolutely nothing but cut it back and throw down some seed. I reckon Tim will win the arm wrestle. What are we talking about? What's Miss Peter talking about? Ryobi and Milwaukee come out of the same factory. DeWalt is my personal favourite. We've got some DeWalt gear here to try. Did you see that when you walked in?
I saw it sitting there, yeah.
Yes. So, last week the DeWalt shirt arrived, Matt's DeWalt shirt. The line trimmer arrived. It looked... I got back from work this morning, so I haven't even had a chance to have a good look at it. I think it's got the motor in the head.
Radio.
Trimmer.
Yep.
So...
And it takes that battery they sent last
battery,
week, the Flex battery, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
So again, I will show more of that. Beer Taster Brute. I do beer reviews on Untapped. Haven't heard of that. Do you know what it is, Karthik?
No.
If you know what that is, but YouTube is my next step. Doing videos on tasting any beers. I'm a beer fanatic.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a beer fanatic, just in that I'd like to have
quantity.
No, I'm not a volume drinker, but I do enjoy it.
Now, I get exactly what Beer Taster Brute's about.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, another one you haven't seen, it is out there. I set up the Luba 2.
I saw your video on it. You had just set it up last time I came here, but I think you said you had to redo it.
I've put the video out for it now on YouTube. So if you want to check out the Luba 2 all-wheel drive 3000 robot mower.
What's the point of difference from that and any other robot mower you've set up so far?
So it's all-wheel drive. It's got these funky looking wheels on the front that are kind of they rotate perpendicular to the normal wheels. So I think it's so it can move around without scuffing up the grass.
Nice, yeah.
Which makes it look really weird. It's got suspension on the front. What else?
It looks like a RC unit, doesn't it, as opposed to a mower?
Yeah. Had you seen it prior to me having it?
On socials when the advert pops up,
They're pretty heavy with the quote-unquote sending them out to influencers.
Okay.
I've noticed because that's where I'd seen them.
Got it.
Because I remember when it first came out and I saw it and I told you I get so many companies from China and these brands I've never heard of that all of a sudden have a robot mower. So it's hard to work out which are going to be the decent players and which are the...
Just there for a piece of the pie.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why. It seems weird that it's almost like the patent's expired on whatever tech they use for them and then everyone's just jumping in or something.
Because in the end, I'd make the assumption that they're all going to be pretty functional, so the decision's going to come down to who's providing the best after-sales support. Because, in 12 months, when something goes wrong
that definitely helps,
you need replacement blades, do they still have, is it one of those where, all of a sudden you can't find blades to buy?
Yeah.
So you then got to start shopping on Amazon or something.
Yeah, well, it's hard. Do you buy the brand you've never heard of for $1,500 and then, you run the risk that...
They might not be around in 12 months,
Yeah, but I mean, that could happen with
any of them, I guess.
This is a $4,200 machine as it stands. There's one that's so the 3000, it's the Luba 2 all-wheel drive 3000. The 3000 is for 3,000 square meters is what it can supposedly cover. I haven't had... My video was getting it out of the box, setting it up physically, and then setting up 2 mowing areas for it. I got through it. Very few of the robot mowers I've tried, the software has been extremely intuitive. The easiest one has been the GOAT, but at the same time they have 2 beacons that you put into the ground, so it tells it where it is in a different sort of a way.
So can I ask, if the robot mowers now need wires, it's kind of like a moot tech now, isn't it? That technology is just, or is there a place for the wired ones still?
I imagine there would be. It's different for me because I don't want to be digging wires in here because I'm trying lots of different ones and I just don't want to have wires in the ground.
Yep.
But if I was investing in one platform, like a Husqvarna or something, and they have...
both available, right?
I believe they've got their wire-free ones starting to come on the market. Haven't looked a lot into it, but I guess with the wire in the ground, there's less that can go wrong. Like that initial setup's a bit more annoying.
Yeah.
But there's...
The boundary is sort of locked and... Okay.
So I don't know. And I also got into the robot mower tryout phase basically when the wireless ones were coming out because they were wired and I didn't want to be trying wired ones. I had no interest in them. I just didn't try any. So
Got it.
I'm not really fully informed. I should probably try and get a wired one here and set it up for comparison. I should see if I could try one of the Husqvarna ones because they are probably one of the leaders in the category. They've been doing it for a long, long time.
Yep.
So I imagine their software would be pretty decent. But from an initial standpoint of the setting it up initially, I like it.
Okay.
I think there will be ongoing issues with them. It's very hard testing these sorts of things. I think whether it be robot mowers or vacuums, excuse me, your experience could be very different to my experience.
Yeah.
Just depending on the layout of your land and what sort of signals you get and all that sort of stuff. So I think I've got to be very careful and just relay that, this is my experience because there's Facebook groups, there's a Facebook group on there for people that are having problems with them, where people like workshop, hey, try this or that, which is kind of good that there's that sort of feedback there. But I think like any of these mowers, there's not, there are people that have had issues with them just stopping or for whatever reason or getting lost or, but again, I haven't had enough time to test it yet. I was just going to turn it on after you leave, actually.
And see how it goes.
It's quicker than the other ones that I've used as well.
Quicker as in...
Ground speed.
Okay, so
it goes along pretty quickly as well as...
Because it's got not double blades, what do you call it? Like two cutting discs,
two cutting
right?
discs, which I didn't even point out in the video. Come here, Maggie. She's just looking on edge.
She's obsessed with you, isn't she?
I'm obsessed with her. Come on. So it seems like a cool bit of gear. Looks very funky. I'll have a lot more on it. I'm going to give it a really good go and make sure I watch it. That's the other thing.
It's funny when you say I'm going to give it a real good go and it's a robot mower, so it like involves you sitting down and watching it do its thing.
But at least when you're testing a push mower or something, you go and use it, you get that direct feedback in a short amount of time and you can relay your experience. With these, like if I just turn it on and come back and the lawn's done and it's back in its bay. You
don't know what's gone wrong. Yeah.
Were there any issues? Or do I come back and it's halfway through and it's stopped and I'm like, why is it stopped? So they're actually a lot harder and takes a lot more time to
test.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. Michelle's here. Michelle's saying, Maggie. Yes, we have Maggie, the lawn dog here. I don't know. We need to get some sort of branding for her, I think. What else we got in the comments, Karthik? Hi, horizontal, Tim and Karthik. Yes, we are horizontal this week on the live on YouTube. Donna's saying about my tools. It depends on budget, really, but more skin attachments, the better. Out of the tools we've accumulated a Vizito. There's only been a couple of skins that are not good. What skins don't you like, Donna? That's what I'm more interested in. Tim, have you got a full review planned for the Milwaukee dual battery trimmer or backpack blower? I only got a couple of days use on the dual battery Milwaukee trimmer and I haven't really I used it in a Free-Mo Fridays. If you send me a message on Instagram or something, I can send you the link to it. But I did film some stuff for partial review there. So no, I don't have anything more planned with it because I only got a little bit of a go on it. We will hopefully we get a crack of the backpack blower. Sandy says,
Rove McManus,
love your videos. OMG, you look and sound so much like Rove McManus. It's uncanny. Witchy loves Maggie as well. Maggie's been very snuggly this episode. What else is going on in your life, Karthik?
Now you tell us what you.
I feel like I'm rambling.
No, it's good. It's good. Mate,
I'm focusing on dog over there, dog in my lap, all this technology.
Turf and Tools podcast. You play with a lot more turf and a lot more tools over a week's period than I do. I haven't been able to
play with a lot of it lately, which is a little bit. I'm very eager to. I've still got to try out the Morrison chainsaw.
Yes.
I was going to do it a few days ago and then it started absolutely pouring.
And actually last week, yes, we talked about the Morrison brand and I was like, I never heard of it. And then remember Morrison had those cylinder mowers. I think they own...
Oh, is it the same? Or?
They look kind of like the Scotties and they're in that same cylinder. I'm fairly sure because somebody in the comments said Morrison's a New Zealand brand. And the Cylinder Morrison ones were also, I know that they are New Zealand. I think it's the same
we're
company.
not going to present that as fact, but that's Karthik's theory. So we'll go with that. But
so, what any new Freemo Fridays? Have you started a new place this time?
I need to start something this week. I do have a tool coming that I'm going to be able to try out for 5 or 6 weeks. I had many people asking with my flail mower when I'm doing a bigger area. I've done a couple of block clears with them, and they're like, "Oh, you need a ride on, whatever." And it's like, yeah, it doesn't normally suit what I do to get into smaller places. That's why I've got the walk behind. But I do have a block clear to do this week, and I did reach out to AS Moto, who are that's the brand of the flail mower that I have. I was like, "Hey, have you got any flail mowers in Sydney at the moment that I could have a crack at this with?" They're sending out not a flail mower. I asked for a ride on.
Yeah.
Not a flail mower, their slasher one.
Okay.
So it's made for steep slopes and thick, heavy grass.
Got it.
So I'm going to give that a crack and then try and do a couple of Freemo Fridays with it.
Remember the Ramo? The big remote control.
I want to try the Ramo
beast.
here.
Well, here, but block clears and stuff would be perfect. Like, I mean, we make a boring video, I reckon, because you're just standing in one corner. But man, I love that thing. That thing was awesome. That thing was really good.
Yeah, I think about the Ramo often.
It was a very impressive machine, I must admit. If I had a spare 50K, I'd probably buy it.
On your lawn? Or?
Don't matter. Just so I have it.
I've got to do some updates as well. Speaking of remote control mowers, the MoRader I haven't had a chance to do those updates.
Have they sent the software update to it or whatever they need to do?
I need to talk to them.
Okay.
But again, just being pushed for time. Joe says, I've noticed in your videos you haven't used your Atom Edger lately. I'm assuming the multi-tools are more efficient. I wouldn't say more efficient, but it's more a space thing. I love the Atom.
Yep.
I love what it does, but I just, from a storage point of view, especially when I'm running a single cab ute with a tray, I need all of the space I can get. And I can put a dedicated stick blade edger. I can put that on my racks and it takes up no space. So that's generally why.
The Atom's not going to fit on that.
Yeah.
It's a very, like a specific style of edging where you've got long runs and stuff like that. So for contractors that do that style of work a lot, it probably makes more sense than a multi-tool stick edger would.
So I haven't gone off it. It's just more I was going to say cosmetics because I'm tired, but it's more a storage thing and being able to carry more. So
because you haven't got the petrol one, have you? With the Atom, you still got the 60 volt.
I got rid of my petrol one, and I've got the battery one still, which I should probably go and make some more videos with because I haven't really done a lot on it. Don't like the Azido 18 volt garden secateurs. Got too hot cutting, power out, and slow cutting action after 20 minutes.
20 minutes of secateur.
20 mil branches. That's not that big. Return for a refund. There you go. Well, they're not giving us a
That's a long time to use secateurs though, isn't it? 20 minutes, you reckon? No?
I feel like if you're using them, like if you're only going to make 1 or 2 cuts, like use your knee. Update on delivery of the John Deere Gator. I don't know. I spoke to them last week? What day is it?
Well, last week I think
the week before, and they had people on holidays and they were just trying to organise it. So I might follow them up on it because I do want to try those out as well. Imagine a drone mower. Is there such a thing? Maybe the future mower. I can't imagine how that would work.
A drone mower?
No.
Well, it's not going to cut the grass if it's flying.
I think they're more thinking like a hover mower style thing. Maybe I don't know.
But it'll be like what was the brand? Flymo?
Yeah.
They were like hover mowers, weren't they? And I think golf courses still kind of use them for like the...
Speaking of, was it John Deere? Oh, no, Toro. I saw Toro advertising their...
version.
I think they've got a battery one now.
Okay.
Which like the hover mowers send shivers up my spine because that was like the first mower I had to use as a child. And
I've never had to ever use one. I'd like to just to see what it's like.
Well, it was plug-in electric, so I had to carry the extension cord over my shoulder and then make sure I didn't run over it. And then it just made, this is back in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
and I'm out the front on a Saturday with this thing just going, which is, like it's now wouldn't sound as weird because there's a lot of people use the battery stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, back then I just, it was so
Were you embarrassing?
Yeah. I was, yeah, sitting out there with this, because everyone would walk past and look at it and go, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, not.
So you physically got to like manhandle it back and forth.
Yeah, but because it's hovering, it's not much
hard
to do.
work. Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever
never used one? It just I wonder
I
what
bought
that's
one
like.
for a. I did a Fremo Fridays with one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, off a portable power station. A Bluetti wanted me to show a portable power station, and it was a decent size one, so I could plug this thing in. I'm like, that's probably the best way to show it. It's kind of cool. It's like
I almost bought one off Marketplace, and
what?
The old Flymore plug-in one,
yeah.
because it was so
$50.
Now the person that what was her name? The mowing queen that was this area. She retired.
Yep.
And I think she sold the place and everything.
Oh, she had one.
So when she was, this is not part of her commercial gear, obviously, but I think it was on Marketplace, and I knew what her actual name was on Facebook and stuff like that. So she had just before you move out, you're getting rid of everything.
Yes.
So she had that on there it was literally like $5 or $10 or something. Just instead of chucking it in the bin, someone can have it kind of.
And you're like, I'm going to have a crap.
And I'm like, I'm just going to go grab it. So I'd message, and then I kind of never actually ended up getting it.
Yeah.
But I should have. I mean, it's $10.
No,
I use it once and then go. Yeah, but I could have just gotten rid of it afterwards.
I can't remember what I paid. I might have paid like $200 because I bought it new from Bunnings.
Yeah.
And I might have sold it for $50 or something. I was never going to use that thing again.
But it's funny, that tech, it's not like it exploded and it's all over the place, but it hasn't necessarily gone away, because I know it's still in certain situations.
Well, I think that's one of the few situations like golf course bunkers
I know.
or hills where,
Outside of that, there's no place for it anymore.
I don't think so. But as I was saying, back to, I saw it on there and the battery one, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay, that's
at least no
a
cord
little
to deal
more
with.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I want to try that? Mm-hmm. Should we try? Should we see if we can try the Toro? I don't know what they call them. The hover mower. I don't know what Toro call them, but
it'd be a very short, it's curiosity and that's it, right? Like 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you'd be like, okay, I'm done now. I'll go back to.
I don't know. You could long term mow something with it. I don't know. Anyway, I thought it was interesting.
It's almost like we're not worried about the cut quality and stuff like that, because we're assuming don't even bother selling the product if it's not going to cut the grass. Yeah. So all we are worried about is the user experience in the end as well.
Yeah. I might hit him up. I might see if I can try one.
Because imagine doing more reviews and saying, oh, look at the grass afterwards. It cut it really well.
Yeah.
That'd be pointless anyway.
Exactly.
Like this.
Yeah. That's probably all we got for the audio version of the 18th annual version of this podcast. We might answer a couple of questions quickly on the YouTube stream. If anyone's got any questions, hit us up. But apart from that, audio version out. Make sure you join us next week, because we have a mega surprise. I can't tell you. We don't actually. I'm just trying to oversell next week.
I was like, he hasn't told me what the surprise is.
See ya.
Catch you later.